Hello everyone, it's Jeff Farina with Pocketnow.com. And a few days ago you saw us unbox the Motorola Flipside, which is this device right here. Well, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take an in-depth look at the hardware of the device and tell you what makes this device tick and what it's made out of. So let's get started. Alright, now as we said in the unboxing, this is actually a mid-range Android device on AT&T. Now on the very front of the device you're going to see the Motorola logo, as well as your trackpad. They actually use an optical trackpad on this device, which gives it a different feel, a different touch, if you will. You can actually navigate through applications by actually taking your finger and swiping to the left and to the right, up, down, etc. to actually navigate using that trackpad, which for most people they'll want to use the touchscreen, but if you don't want to use the actual touchscreen to navigate through, this is a nice touch that you'll want to actually take advantage of. Now next to these we also have the typical Android capacitive buttons. Now as you can see we have the menu, home, search, and back buttons. Unfortunately, we do wish there was some sort of consistency with these buttons. In this case, if you're used to a certain layout, this is going to change things up for you completely. You're also going to see the 3.1-inch capacitive display with a resolution of 320 by 480. It is a TFT type display, so you're not going to get the colors, the resolution, or the overall vibrancy of an AMOLED or Super AMOLED. However, the screen actually does look very nice. Moving over to the right side of the device, we're going to see your dedicated camera button, as well as your volume rocker up and down. Now, typically the volume rockers are on the left side. This is definitely a new feel. However, you can easily get used to it. Moving to the top of the device, we're going to have the 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as your power and unlock button. On the left side of the device, we're going to have the micro USB charging port. Now on top of that, you've probably noticed there's actually a little bit of a lip or a gap here, and that's because this device has a sliding full QWERTY keyboard. The keys actually feel very similar to that of the HTC Tilt. They're almost a rubberized feel. They're very flat, and they provide a great amount of feedback. You may be able to hear the actual clicks here, but they provide a great amount of feedback so that you can actually tell which button it is you're pressing. This keyboard does in fact light up if you are in a darker environment. Closing the device and moving things toward the back, you're going to see the AT&T logo on the battery cover. You're going to have your speaker grill, or your speaker opening for your speakerphone, as well as the sound from music, sound effects, games, whatever it may be. And you're going to have a 3.1 megapixel camera, unfortunately without a flash. If we go ahead and take off this battery cover, we're actually going to see the battery first. Now you can get at the micro SD card, as you can see here, without taking out the battery. That's a nice treat. It actually has a rubber lift segment here. You can actually pull this portion out, and that will allow you to slide your micro SD card right out. Now it is very nice to be able to take out that micro SD card without having to pull your battery out each and every time. Removing the battery will actually leave you with the slot for the SIM card, you can see here, which slides from the right to the left into the device itself. You will have to remove your battery. Now beating at the heart of this device is a 720 megahertz processor. Now we did say that this is a mid-range Android device, and that proves so right there with that sort of spec. However, it does have 512 megabytes of RAM, which easily makes up for the processor in most cases, and 512 megabytes of ROM or onboard storage apart from that micro SD card. For connectivity options, you're going to have Wi-Fi B and G, Bluetooth 2.1, and of course this is going to take advantage of AT&T's full spectrum Edge and 3G network. Coming up in our next video, we're going to take a further look into the software of the Motorola Flipside. This device does use MotoBlur over the Android 2.1 operating system, so we're going to give you a tour of the MotoBlur skin. Be sure to stay tuned for that video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and as always, thank you very much for watching, everyone.